Samuel Sam Hargrove had always been known across the dusty plains of Arizona Territory as the quiet rancher who preferred the company of cattle and open skies over people and noise. Life had taught him early that silence was safer than trust, and trust was a currency few could afford. After losing his parents to a bandit raid years ago, he built his ranch from scratch and lived his days mending fences, wrangling cattle, and staring at sunsets, with no one beside him until the day fate changed everything. Sam had ridden farther west than usual in search of a missing calf when a strange stillness fell over the desert. Before he realized it, figures emerged from behind the rocks, swift, silent, and deadly accurate. Within seconds, he was surrounded by a dozen Apache women, each dressed in fringed leather skirts, their braided hair decorated with beads and feathers, their eyes fierce but calm, holding bows aimed right at him. Before Sam could reach for his gun, one woman, clearly their leader, stepped forward and gave a sharp command. An arrow flew, pinning the edge of Sam's shirt to a post behind him. Another woman leaped forward, knocking away his weapon. They tied his hands tightly and marched him across the desert. Sam didn't struggle. He knew fighting would only get him killed. The Apache women's tribe was known in legends, but most white men considered it a story told around campfires. Yet here he was, their prisoner, their trophy, their captured trespasser. As they approached the hidden valley where their village lay, Sam saw something surprising. The camp was not the savage hellhole stories described. Instead, it was beautifully built, organized and full of life, children laughing, women crafting tools, fires burning with the scent of cooked meat. They tied Sam to a tall wooden pole at the center of the camp while dozens gathered around, whispering in their native tongue. He felt like prey waiting for the final decision. The leader stepped forward again, tall, confident, with eyes sharp as a hawk. She introduced herself as Nayeli, the tribe's war chief. Her voice carried authority when she announced that Sam had trespassed sacred Apache land. Tradition demanded punishment, and the crowd murmured in agreement. But then one elder woman raised her hand, silencing them. She circled Sam slowly, studying him with eyes that seemed to see through his soul. She told the tribe that Sam had no malice in him, that the ancestors rejected unnecessary bloodshed, and that perhaps his capture held a different meaning. The women looked at Sam again, this time not with hostility but with curiosity. They asked him why he rode alone, why he carried such sadness in his eyes. Sam didn't want to answer, but loneliness had a strange way of loosening even the toughest man's tongue. He revealed bits of his past, his ranch, his losses, his solitude, and for the first time in years, he felt himself open up to strangers. The tribe listened in surprising silence. Nayeli stared at him as if seeing a side of the world she'd never imagined. The elder woman announced that Sam wouldn't be killed. Instead, he would live among them until the spirits revealed their intention. The tribe erupted in murmurs again, but they obeyed. Sam's ropes were loosened just enough for him to move, but he remained guarded by the women, who watched him with a mix of suspicion and fascination. Over the next days, Sam learned their ways. He helped gather wood, fetch water, and even assisted with repairing tools. The Apache women were strong, disciplined, and full of fire, unlike anyone he had met before. They admired his work ethic, quiet strength, and gentle nature. Some whispered about him as he worked, giggled when he passed, and studied him as though he were some kind of intriguing puzzle. Sam felt strangely at peace in their world. He admired their unity, their culture, their sense of family, something he had long forgotten. Nayeli visited him often, questioning him about life outside the valley, about ranching, about the world of men. Sam answered honestly, and she seemed drawn to his sincerity. One evening, as the sky glowed orange, Nayeli approached him privately and confessed that although he came as a prisoner, something about him unsettled her, in a way she couldn't explain. Sam felt a shift inside him, something warm he hadn't felt in years. But before they could speak further, drums echoed through the valley, an approaching threat. Rival warriors were near. The tribe armed themselves, forming ranks. Sam watched, helpless but protective. Whatever bond had begun forming, he knew one thing for certain. He would not let harm come to the women who had spared his life. To be continued. The night sky blazed with torches as the Apache women's tribe prepared for battle. Sam, still partially bound but free enough to move, could feel the tension like a tightening rope around his chest. The rival warriors, known as the Black Mesa Band, were fierce and aggressive, never missing a chance to raid or steal resources. As the sounds of distant horses echoed through the valley, Sam felt a surge of protectiveness rise inside him. He couldn't pick up a weapon, but he could warn them, guide them, help them survive. He tugged at his restraints, and two women guarding him looked uncertain. "Let me fight with you," Sam said. "I know these lands. I know their tactics. I won't sit and watch you die." The women exchanged glances and led him to Nayeli. She stared at him with disbelief. "You would fight for us, even though we captured you?" Sam nodded without hesitation. "You spared my life. You treated me like a human when you had every reason not to. That means something." Something flickered in her eyes. Respect. Surprise, maybe even growing affection. She grabbed a knife and cut the rope binding his wrists. The moment his hands were free, Sam felt the weight of freedom return, but he didn't run. Instead, he picked up a spear and took his place beside the women. As the rival warriors charged into the valley, the Apache women held strong, launching arrows with deadly precision. Sam shouted instructions from what he knew of raider strategies, helping the tribe block the enemy's flanks. The battle was fierce, dust rising in thick clouds, arrows slicing through the night air. Sam fought with every ounce of strength he had, protecting Nayeli whenever danger neared. At one point, a warrior rushed at her from behind, but Sam lunged, tackling the man to the ground. The tribe saw this, and their respect for him deepened. They weren't used to men risking their lives for them. Most men feared them or sought to dominate them. But Sam was different. When the rival tribe finally retreated, the Apache women cheered in victory. Many were bruised, some exhausted, but all alive. Sam collapsed to his knees, panting, covered in dust and sweat. Nayeli approached him slowly, her expression unreadable. Then, in front of everyone, she placed her hand on his chest and thanked him for fighting as one of them. The tribe murmured in approval. That night, as the women celebrated around a roaring fire, Sam found himself the center of attention. Women who once glared at him now offered him food, water, grateful smiles. Some touched his shoulders, curious about his strength. Others praised his bravery. Sam had never felt so accepted, so appreciated, so needed. Nayeli sat beside him, closer than before. She spoke softly, telling him that the tribe now saw him not as a prisoner, but as a protector blessed by the spirits. He felt warmth spread through him at her words. Over the next weeks, Sam became part of their daily life. He helped with hunts, taught new techniques for tracking, repaired fences around their livestock, and even learned some of their language. The women admired how hardworking and respectful he was. He wasn't loud or boastful. He listened more than he spoke, helped more than he asked, and his calm presence brought comfort to many. Young women shyly sought him out, asking him to teach them ranch skills, or simply enjoying his company. Even the elders said Sam carried the heart of a warrior and the soul of a healer, but no bond grew stronger than the one between him and Nayeli. She began trusting him with tribal secrets, telling him stories of her childhood, her fears, her burdens as a leader. Sam shared parts of his own heart he had buried long ago. One evening, as the tribe gathered for a celebration, the elder woman who first spared Sam's life stood and announced that the spirits had finally spoken. Sam was not captured by accident. He was brought to them for a reason, to guide, protect, and bring balance. The women cheered, circling around Sam, singing and dancing. For the first time, he felt like he belonged somewhere, truly belonged. Sam looked at Nayeli, who stepped forward and took his hand in front of the tribe. Her eyes held warmth, admiration, and something deeper, a connection that words could never capture. Sam knew then that he was no longer the lonely rancher wandering the desert. He had found a family, a purpose, and a place where his heart could finally rest. As the fire crackled and the celebrations grew louder, the narrator's voice would rise for the viewers. And if you enjoyed this wild journey of courage, fate, and unexpected love, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support helps bring more amazing stories like this to life. Join us, hit that subscribe button, and saddle up for the next adventure in the Wild West.